Hey guys, I cannot believe July is over. So this is the monthly reset. It's actually not even the end of July yet. Right now it is Wednesday, July 26th, but I know that if I don't film my monthly reset now, it probably won't get done, so I'm filming it a little early. I actually even filmed it yesterday, but I didn't really like the format or how it came out. So I'm trying again today, and we'll see which video I like better. So July was a really tough month for me. If you remember my last monthly reset, I'll link it here if you want to check it out. I was starting to slip with the positive, good habits that I had enforced. And I can't say that it got much better, unfortunately. When I made that video, I had also been taking Wellbutrin for 4 days, and I had been experiencing some side effects, and those side effects sort of went away, but then more came about, and they were very unpleasant. I thought that I needed this medication because I was experiencing some depression, and I can honestly say that whatever it was doing to my brain, I was truly depressed after the first week of taking this medicine. Motivation, energy, all of it was like in the negative. I can't say that I noticed any improvement at all, any desire to do anything, socialize, make TikToks, get any work done, clean, even properly care for myself. All of that just went away. And I know that it is a wonderful medication and it works great for a lot of people. I also know that there's an adjustment period. To me, it was not worth it to continue to muscle through. And at 16 days in, I got the okay from my doctor to discontinue. And I have been feeling much better since. There was a period of recalibration there, and I would say that it was just a huge priority for me to exercise a lot of self-care during the initial period of taking the medication, as well as when I was coming off of the medication. So Wellbutrin was not a good fit for me. Kind of bummed. I really need to start journaling again, and I really kind of fell off with my morning reading, and that's mostly because I was not able to get up at a reasonable time. I was not sleeping very well. So I'm slowly working on getting back to where I want to be with that. And I did actually start the Energy Bus book, and I did finish the Unfuck Yourself book as well. Not a fan of the Unfuck Yourself book, but it did have some okay key points. I think that it's probably, like I said in the other monthly reset video, I think it's more geared towards people that have really bad negative self-talk, and I feel very fortunate that that's not something I really suffer from. So I think it would be a better fit for somebody else. But I'm glad I read it. I don't ever start a book and then not finish it. I have to see it through, even if it's a book I don't agree with or enjoy. And that brings me to my leisure or pleasure reading, which is the A Kingdom of Fire and Blood, or From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I am almost done with the second book now. I have been consistently reading that. And I would say it's a romantic fantasy novel, so there's a lot of heated, spicy scenes, if you catch my drift. Those are written well, but as far as the overall story and the way it's written, I'm not crazy about it. But I think it's a total of 4 books, this series, and I'm almost done with the second one, so I need to finish the series. I'm just really looking forward to starting another book that may be a little more my style as far as writing and storytelling goes. So in addition to the Wellbutrin situation, I had some lab work done because I just not been feeling myself, and I was diagnosed with anemia, more specifically an iron deficiency. So I've been taking iron supplements. That explains why I'd been dealing with some pretty bad fatigue and dizzy spells. So the iron supplements are really hard on my stomach, but I've been trying my best to take them consistently, as well as eating more red meat. I'd been avoiding iron-rich foods for a while. I'm not really sure why. So I've been eating a lot more red meat, which is tasty. my blood work also showed that I was positive for tuberculosis, which is not something I knew my doctor was checking me for. I didn't present with any symptoms, so it's considered a latent tuberculosis infection. I had 2 x-rays done and there was no indication of areas where... I just realized this gosh darn kettle is in my shot. Sorry, it's from my son's oatmeal for breakfast. So the x-ray did not show that I had an active infection. Obviously, I'm not coughing up blood or anything like that. And it's not uncommon for people to have latent infections. So the course of action is going to be to take a medication called rifampin for 4 months, every day for 4 months. Very annoying, but in the bigger scheme of things here, it is much easier to kill this bacteria in a short period of time while I'm healthy, as opposed to just ignoring it. And then, you know, later on down the road, when I get older, if, you know, my immune system gets bad, then the infection becomes active. That's going to be much harder on my body. So the smart thing to do here is to just treat it before it gets to that point, if it were to get to that point. The side effect, I think the biggest side effect I'm seeing with that medicine is that it turns your sweat and tears and like urine orange, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I don't know. It also interacts with a lot of other medications, so I'm glad that I'm not taking the Wellbutrin anymore, so that there's one less thing I have to kind of navigate. I am so grateful that I am sober and I don't smoke cigarettes and I don't live a risky lifestyle. So I feel like I have more control in some aspects in regards to my health, you know, staying hydrated, taking my vitamins, going to the gym, and just being safe, you know. I feel like some people just live way more recklessly than I do, and I know that I had my time to do that, and I did. I got it out of my system, and I'm very happy now living a very simple, safe life, for the most part anyway. I did start intermittent fasting again. I tried it a long time ago, and I think that initially when I had tried it, it was to lose weight. I am not considered overweight by any means. I feel like aside from like the weight loss portion of it, there are a lot of benefits with your immune system, you know, managing glucose intolerance, cortisol levels. I feel like there's a lot of benefits that can happen if you are doing it appropriately. I do have some like stubborn belly fat, but I think that's truly just from being a mom. I don't know if that will go away or not. If it does, that's great, you know, but we'll see. I have been drinking black coffee in the morning in addition to my water, and I'm really starting to try to appreciate just black coffee. I really love putting creamer, and sometimes I put like sweeteners and stuff in too, but I normally just drink my coffee with cream. So I'm trying to learn to appreciate it just black, and I am. You know, it's like you can really taste all the flavors and the notes and everything like that. It's sort of like wine. Sort of, I don't know. I've been absolutely obsessed with Liquid IV. I just got this bag yesterday. I initially had the strawberry flavor. This is watermelon, and it is just so good. I find that because I have increased my water intake, that it can sometimes mess with your electrolyte balance, especially if you're drinking filtered water. So I will try and drink one of these a day. And it's really tasty. I keep one in my purse at all times. I keep a couple in my car. And I just think that like it's a nice way to get some vitamins and minerals when you're on the go. This is something else I have been sort of obsessed with. It doesn't have a flavor, so you can put it in pretty much anything. I like to put it in my coffee drinks when I'm out of my fasting period. I also like to sprinkle a little bit in my oatmeal if I'm having oatmeal. It's just a nice way to boost your protein intake, because I don't feel like a lot of women pay attention to how much protein that they are consuming in a day. And protein is like the building blocks for collagen and good hair and muscle strength and stuff like that. So it's very important, especially as you're aging. One of the highlights from this month was got to go to Atlantic City, New Jersey for a little vacation. I know Atlantic City is like, I don't know, some people go to really nice fancy beaches. This was very close and relatively affordable, so it was a wonderful compromise for me to just get away for a couple days and enjoy the salt water and the sand. And I also got a really cool henna tattoo on my hand. It has since faded, but I'll show you what it looked like. I have always wanted to get a henna tattoo and for some reason never did. Decided this summer would be the summer to get one. And no regrets. I feel like July was a wash for me because there was so much going on. A lot of curveballs were thrown my way, and I had to really just prioritize doing what felt right for me in the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, my bills are still paid, my animals are fed, my family is taken care of, you know. So at the end of the day, like, if you are just getting by doing the bare minimum, that's all right. You don't need to beat yourself up over it, you know? Some of my favorite like self-care practices are like watching. I love the Bee and Puppy Cat cartoon. I love it so much. Sort of reminds me of Adventure Time, but a lot more, it's like more kid friendly. There's not so much weird stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love Adventure Time for what it is, and I feel like Bee and Puppy Cat falls into the same genre a little, but I think that it's just more, I don't know how to describe it. When I watch it, I just feel like I'm wearing a very fluffy, cozy blanket, and there's nothing in the show at all that makes me feel uncomfortable. Whereas like some scenes in Adventure Time, you're like, what is going on? And also playing Animal Crossing. I am actually gonna look into getting a capture card because one of my favorite activities is to do the Happy Homes, Happy Homes Island, where you decorate little villagers' houses. I love doing that. And I have made some really cool builds. In my opinion, they're cool. So I'd love to find a way that I could share that with you guys or whoever would be interested. It's just a creative escape for me. I also love reading and just like walking my dog and stuff like that. So it's just simple little guilty pleasure. It's not even a guilty pleasure. It's just, I guess to me it feels guilty because I'm not actively doing something meaningful in the bigger picture. But at the end of the day, it's something that feels good for me, and that's just as important. August, we'll see what happens. I know one of the biggest things that's happening, I'm 90% sure it's gonna happen, driving up to Maine to visit my grandparents and my father. My grandparents are in their mid-90s, so it's a bit of a drive, but it's totally worth it to me, and I'm really excited to smell the ocean up there and eat some lobster and go to the aquariums and maybe ride on a boat. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I think that'll be the perfect close to the summer months. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful summer. I hope that you're staying healthy and hydrated and wearing your sunscreen, so important. And I really appreciate you guys tagging along for this journey. You know, you never stop growing and you never stop learning. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about being a human, is just taking every day one step at a time and just doing your best and just being happy. You know, it's such a difficult thing in today's world. Like, there's so much weird stuff happening, so many big scary things going on, that it's so important to find little moments of happiness where you can, and just taking care of yourself, you know? Yeah, that's all I got for now. And let me know how your summer's going in the comments below. I'm interested. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.